the industry. She has spent 4 years of her life dedicating her time and voice advocating for the protection and welfare of the Filipino child as the former program director of Bantay Bata 163. And more than 2 decades being the service of the Filipino public as a multi-awarded broadcast journalist in ABS-CBN. He has anchored and hosted several programs of the ABS-CBN Integrated News and Current Affairs, DCMM Teleradio, and ABS-CBN News Channel and the Filipino Channel or TFC, including the longest running health show in the country, Salamat. She was also the lead correspondent in some of the biggest national and international news events, including Pope Francis' visit in the Philippines in 2015. As a TV and radio personality and social media influencer, she uses these platforms for public service by giving accurate information that empowers audiences, focusing on content that push forward her advocacies on health, education, families, and children. With a solid background in mass media and affiliations with organizations that focus on family and children's welfare, such as the Ateneo Center for Family Ministries or CEFAM, she was given the tremendous yet noble task of becoming the program director of Bantay Bata 163 in 2016. Bantay Bata 163 is ABS-CBN Foundation's Child Protection and Welfare Program, known for their 163 hotline, rescue, rehabilitation, educational assistance, as well as medical and legal services. She took it as her personal mission to help create a safer, happier world for children by educating communities and parents about the values that will strengthen families and protect the innocent. Among her many hats, she is a devoted mother to 3 children and a wife to Nonong Velasco, an Ateneo Management Engineering graduate and social entrepreneur focusing on organic farming. She also used to teach broadcast journalism at her alma mater, the Ateneo de Manila University. She was a consistent honor student from elementary to high school at the St. Teresa's College in Quezon City. She graduated honorable mention and was a departmental awardee for academic excellence, leadership, and community service at the Ateneo de Manila University, where she took up Bachelor of Arts, major in Communication Arts. She also graduated with a degree of Master in Business Administration from the Ateneo de Manila Graduate School of Business. Before joining ABS-CBN, she took up broadcasting at the New York University, New York, United States of America, and in turn at the ABS News, also in New York City. As a broadcast journalist and communicator, she is passionate about sharing accurate information, crafting empowering stories that will change lives, and creating inspiring content that has the heart for making a difference. It's my honor to present to you, to our FEU Tech, FEU Diliman, and FEU Alabang community, our last speaker for today. Let us all welcome Miss Jing Castaneda. Hello, ma'am.
Hello! Can you hear me?
Ma'am, we can hear you po. Magandang hapon po.
Magandang hapon! Zoomgenic ba ako? Ay, hindi pala Zoom to. Google Meets pala to. Meetsgenic. Ayan. Hello! Thank you for your invitation. Can you hear me loud and clear?
Yes, ma'am. Loud and clear po.
Ayan. Thank you for the introduction. And thank you po sa atin pong mga mag-aaral, mga student leaders ng FEU Institutes of Technology, FEU Diliman, FEU Alabang, at syempre yung ating mga administrador, Dr. Remelia Cabreros, Senior Director, Academic Services, FEU Tech, Engineer Remelita Abenido, Executive Director, FEU Alabang, Dr. Jennifer Florida, Executive Director, at si Marlon Maglipas. Ayan, ako BFF natin yan si Marlon, ang Coordinator ng Student Activities and Development Unit, Office of Student Affairs. Thank you,
you,
ha.
ma'am.
Uy, maraming mga followers ang Salamat, Doc. Nanonood sila ng Salamat, Doc. Thank you, ha. At thank you sa inyong imbitasyon. Alam nyo, bilib na bilib ako sa inyo, no? Kasi kahit na tayo ay nasa quarantine, talagang desidido kayo na patalasin ang inyong mga isipan at tinuloy nyo pa rin itong inyong online annual leadership training and seminar. And of course, the theme for this seminar is the new normal of service, leadership, and excellence, rebuilding the foundation of resiliency. So thank you sa lahat ng nagpapadala ng heart. O, diba? Ayan, ang daming heart. Pinapadala. Thank you, ha? Thank you talaga. I really appreciate it, and I really appreciate your invitation. Alam nyo, student leader din po ako noon, no? Ilang ligo lang po ang nakararaan. Hindi naman tayo masyadong nagkakalayo ng edad. Ayan. So, at tulad ng sinabi ng previous speaker kanina, you know, the academics is really just, it is important, but it's not the end all and be all of our college life, of our high school life, of our elementary life. Very active po ako noon, no, sa St. Teresa's at sa Ateneo. At masasabi kong kung hindi po dahil doon sa aking mga activities, sa bilang mag-aaral noon, hindi po ako magiging Jing Castaneda ngayon. So very timely itong leadership training ninyo, lalong-lalo na death anniversary din, no, ng ating bayaning si Ninoy Aquino. And then last August 18 naman was the first death anniversary of my idol and former boss, Gina Lopez. Kilala niyo ba si Gina Lopez? Sige nga, magano nga kayo feedback. Yes, sabi nila Clyde, nila Andeng, nila Nimrod. Ayan, yes daw. Ako talagang, wala namang hindi nakakakilala kay Gina Lopez, no, at yung kanyang puso for service. So in this talk, please allow me to share my own story, my own journey as a leader, and my journey of service, my journey of faith, and my journey of love. Recently po, ayan, I'll show na my slide, no? Recently, I was, can you see my slide? Malinaw ba?
Ayan, ma'am, our technical team is presenting now your PowerPoint or your slide. Ngayon lang po natatabunan lang po ata. Can you try it again, ma'am, to present? Can you present it again?
Ayan, it's well, it's on my screen. I don't know if it's on your screen now.
All right. So our tech team is checking it, ma'am. Try to resume. Can you kindly click resume, ma'am, the presentation? You can see it down in our in your web browser po. You can press it yung ano po, back button with the up arrow po.
Okay, hold on, ha?
Okay na. So, yun nga, sabi ng isa na nating live audience dito, we have a representative from FEU, kanina naman De La Salle, ngayon naman from a graduate from Ateneo de Manila University. Wow. And it ngayon pala overwhelming na po kami. Kulang na lang po yung parang UAP na po pala tong dating ng ating speakership sa ating leadership training and seminar. So kulang na lang po ibang school. Pero yun, ma'am, you may now proceed in your presentation po.
Ayan, galing naman ng host natin. Pwedeng pang umagang kay ganda, ha? In fairness.
Thank you po, ma'am.
Ayan, so allow me to share with you a very, very brief story, no, about my journey with ABS-CBN. Recently, I was featured by... Ayan. So next slide, please. Okay, parang it won't move.
Hindi ganyan na lang.
All right. So while we are waiting for our speaker to present her presentation, may we remind our live audience, you may ask our speaker later on after her talk. You can chat your questions in our chat box. Sa makikita nyo yung chat box natin dyan. Or you may comment it down in our live FB Live. So we'll try to accommodate all of your questions later after her presentation. Again, I think our speaker is already ready to present her presentation. Ms. Jing?
Okay, thank you. So recently, I was featured by Ricky Lo. He's one of our highly acclaimed columnists, no? And I hope it's okay if I get excerpts from that interview. So you can also check it out online via my Facebook page, or you can also Google Ricky Lo's column. Doing the interview made me go back and reflect on how my life has been for the past 21 years. Talagang solid kapamilya po tayo, no? Well, it was a bit difficult, no, for me to articulate and calmly reflect on all of these things. The past few days have been a roller coaster of emotions as we talk to our kapamilyas who lost their work. Alam naman natin na marami pong nawalan ng trabaho, no, sa ABS-CBN. But your theme, which is leadership, is really I'm getting a bit emotional because we have a lot of pamilyas sa ABS-CBN hanggang April 30 na lang, no? Hanggang end of the month na lang ang kanila pong trabaho sa ABS-CBN. Pero ang pagiging leader po ay ang pagiging matatag. Ano man ang harapin. Hindi naman pwedeng puro masaya, hindi naman pwedeng puro tagumpay. Talagang kailangan magkaroon ng pagsubok dahil doon po tayo tatatag. At pagdating po sa pagsubok, importanteng matibay yung pananampalataya natin sa Diyos. So para po tayo maging mabuting mga leader, kailangan matibay yung ating tiwala sa Panginoon. So para po sa akin, si Gina Lopez ang isa po sa mga itinuturing kong idol, no? Pagdating sa kanyang leadership. Ang isa rin na pinapaalala kasi sa atin ni Gina Lopez ay hindi lamang yung faith in God, but it's really that everything we do should be from a place of love. Faith from the place of love, from a place of service. Kapag yun po ang ating layunin, tutulungan tayo ni Lord. At yan nga nakikita natin. That's one of my most favorite quotes from Gina Lopez. When you want something really well, my experience in life is that God sends people there. So we have to believe that. We have to believe that. We have to believe in ourselves. But we also need to know that we cannot do it alone. And in the end, it's really in God's hands. Alam ko, bata pa po kayo, pero ngayon pa lang, subukan nyo nang simulan yung inyong conversation, no? Daily conversation with the Lord. Hindi naman kailangang formal na dasal, but you really talk to Him for Him to guide you, for Him to guide us. Kwento ko lang, no? Before I entered ABS-CBN, I actually applied sa iba pong mga network. Hindi ko nasasabihin kung ano, kung saan. Pero hindi ako natanggap. So it was really a humbling experience for me. Kung narinig niyo yung introduction sa akin kanina, di ba? I'm an accomplished student leader. I graduated with honors. Ateneo nga, no? So parang, bakit hindi ako natanggap, di ba? So So it's a very humbling experience. And I'd like to share that with you. Kasi ang mga estudyante, mayayabang, di ba? Aminin nyo yan. Mayayabang eh. Yung mga student leaders na tulad nyo, lalo na pag may mga positions kayo sa organization, no? Siyempre, feeling nyo, kaya ko yan. Ang galing-galing ko. Lahat kaya kong gawin. Di ba? Ayaw nyo akong tanggapin. It's your loss. Di ba? Ganyan ang mga pag-iisip ng mga estudyante. So it was really a humbling experience for me. Bakit ako hindi tinanggap? Di ba? So, I went abroad, sabi nga dun sa introduction kanina. So, I interned, I worked for ABC News in New York. I studied for a while. And then suddenly, Attorney Dong Puno, hindi ko alam kung kilala niyo pa siya, no? Kasi ibang henerasyon na kayo, pero siya ang kabayan ng mga panahong yon. English pa noon ang newscast, hindi pa uso yung Tagalog, the newscasts and talk shows. He was the Senior Vice President for ABS-CBN News and Current Affairs. He was also my professor at the Ateneo. So nag-email siya, sabi niya gusto ko ba raw umuwi, may vacancy sa ABS, gusto ko bang pumasok sa ABS-CBN. So it was an answered prayer. At that time, I was really praying for direction. I was talking to God. Sabi ko, ano pang ginagawa ko abroad, di ba? Kung ikaw ay bahagi ng media, dapat meron kang value added to your community. So paano ako magkakaroon ng value added dito sa komunidad ng mga Amerikano? Di ba? I didn't feel fulfilled. The service aspect was not there. So, and then Dong Puno's letter came. So it was an answered prayer, and it signaled that it was time to come home. Again, nagdasal ako, no, na siguro mas marami namang pera abroad, pero wala doon yung fulfillment. Yung ability to make a difference, hindi ko ramdam doon. And so I went back. And when I went back, I was a reporter for ABS-CBN. That was in 1999. So, and tulad nung sabi nung speaker nyo kanina, it's important for you guys to find your passion. I cannot emphasize it more. It's really, really important. You find out what makes you tick, what makes you get up in the morning. Diba? Sabi nung Nescafe commercial, bakit ka bumabangon sa umaga? Find your passion. Kasi pag nahanap mo yun, malaking bagay na. Wrong spelling po yung passion, ha? So, kaya, importante na mahanap po natin yung ating passion. Ako po, swerte po ako. I'm very blessed. Even as a student, I already knew what I wanted to be. Either a doctor or a journalist. So, in the end, I chose to be a journalist kasi matagal masyado yung pagdudoktor. No? Tsaka syempre, mahal. So I accepted the challenge. I joined ABS-CBN. I was hungry then, no, to craft compelling stories that move people to action, from helping others to coming up with exposés. It was a very fast-paced life, and I enjoyed it. So through the years, lahat po ng news beats, naikot ko na. From police, no, from being a police reporter to handling political stories. Ang political stories, that's kind of considered, you mean if you're able to handle political stories, ibig sabihin, senior ka na, no, dun sa ginagawa mo. And then eventually, I was blessed and was asked to anchor several programs with ABS-CBN, Teleradyo, TFC, the Filipino channel, and ANC. So, in all these 21 years, each time my purpose became more concrete and my vision became clearer. My love and respect for my craft and my commitment with the public became deeper. I evolved from a journalist who want to tell stories and get people to react to these stories into an advocate. I've seen the problems up close. I would like to empower others in working together on possible solutions. Among the many, many coverages I handled, the Pope's visit to the Philippines is one of the most memorable. Of course, bukod pa dun sa, syempre si Pope Francis yan. At that time, I was looking for an answer. Again, no? At that time, I was being offered by Gina Lopez to head Bantay Bata 163. So it was difficult for me to decide simply because I was already set on my journey, my track, no, as a broadcast journalist. Everything was going well, di ba? Nag-a-anchor ka, enjoy ka dun sa mga natutulungan mo, sa mga kwento mo, sa mga storya mo. And the Pope Francis coverage was one of the last major coverages I handled before I went on to accept the position of program director sa Bantay Bata. And another memorable coverage was the coverage in Real Quezon. And I'll show lang the footage, no, or the photo. Ayan. So this was in 2004, and it was very, very memorable for me because of the story we did on 4 individuals who were trapped under the rubbles when a building collapsed, no, because of the typhoon. So ito po yung itinuturing na Yolanda ng Quezon. Daming namatay. Pag ginugal nyo yan, lalabas yan. So yung nakita nyo sa baba, no, yan yung mga bangkay na inanod, etc. So, kaya po memorable sa akin to. Exclusive, marami kami exclusives noon kasi nung pumasok kami sa Real Quezon, bumabagyo pa noon. So nagsara na yung langit, wala nang makalipad na helicopter. Nag-collapse yung mga tulay, so hirap pumasok. So kami po yung first team na nakapasok. And then meron akong ginawang story, may nag-collapse nga po na building, may mga natabunan na mga tao na libing ng buhay. So nung dumating kami dun sa lugar, nag-iiyakan yung mga residente. Hingi silang tulong. So ginagamit nila yung mga kamay nila, mga martilyo. They were trying to break, no, the slab of cement kasi nga yung building gumuho, no, so yung taas ng building yun yung nakatabon, no, doon sa mga nalibing ng buhay. So nagiiyakan sila. So yun yung ginawa ko yung report na yun, so exclusive report. Di pa po, kung nakikita nyo yung picture ko sa chopper yan, no, laki-laki ng cellphone ko. Yan ang mga cellphone pa ng mga panahon na yun. Hindi siya pwedeng nakawin kasi ibabalibag mo siya sa magnanakaw, magkakabukol yung magnanakaw sa laki ng mga cellphone. Kasi laki ng plancha yung hawakan, 'di ba? So anyway, so walang hindi pa nga malakas yung Wi-Fi signal noon. There was only one spot, no. Every night doon kami bumabalik. Doon lang merong signal yung aming satellite dish na dala-dala. So it was a very memorable coverage. And then, so yung pamilya ko, hindi ko nakakausap the whole day. Nalalaman lang nilang buhay pa ako pag napapanood nila ako dun sa TV, no. And then umuulan sa CR, no, comfort room ng isang covered courts kami natutulog ng aming team, cameramen, drivers, etc. So ito yung ganito pong mga storya, this is what we reporters are excited to cover. Di ba? Yung may excitement, merong danger, pero syempre more important, merong kang buhay na nasasagip, na natutulungan. So nung ni-report ko po na meron ngang nag-collapse sa building at nagmamakaaway mga tao kung pwedeng magpadala ng tulong ang gobyerno, heavy equipment from the military, from the miners. Then a couple of days later, habang naglalakad kami, naghahanap pa kami ng storya, may nasalubong kaming mga minero. So sabi po nung minero, Di sabi namin, oh, sir, saan kayo pupunta, Manong? Pupunta po kami dun sa, Repador. Dun sa Barangay Tignuan. Kasi po, napanood ko po yung report ninyo, sabi niya. Kaya nag-volunteer po ako na pumunta dito para po matulungan yung mga taong nadaganan at natabunan ng building. So, sa akin po, hindi ko makalimutan yun, no? Kasi, biro mo yun dahil sa report mo. Diba? Kasi usually, pag lumagawa kami ng report, parang ano yan Armalite. Diba? Ratatatatatatat, bahala na kung sinong tamaan. Pero yun, may tinamaan, no? Sa puso. Diba? Sobrang lakas nung tama sa kanya nung report na yun. Tumayo siya, iniwan niya yung pamilya niya, pumunta siya sa Real Quezon. Awa po ng Diyos, yung nakikita niyong picture sa baba, isa po siya doon sa na-rescue. 4 po yung na-rescue, 3 bata, 1 lola. After 9 days, na-rescue po sila. So, nalalata, dehydrated, pero buhay. Ito pong coverage na to, sobrang importante po sa akin. Kaya yung anak ko, di ko alam, buntis pala ako noon. So, as covering for close to 2 weeks, wala kami ng matulugang maayos, di ba? Wala rin makain kasi wala namang mga tinda, no? Yung mga karinderya doon. Pag uwi ko ng Manila, nalaman ko buntis pala ako. So, pinangalanan ko po siyang Rhea in remembrance of my Real Quezon coverage. Kaya hanggang ngayon, hindi ko po yan malilimutan. So, yung coverage po na yan, isa lamang po yan sa napakaraming mga naging karanasan ko no, sa ABS-CBN na talagang mind-blowing. Parang, kasi yung impact mo sa tao, ramdam na ramdam. Pero yun po sa pamamagitan ng mga storya. Sa Salamat Doc naman, sa pamamagitan naman po ng mga serbisyo na binibigay namin sa atin pong mga kapamilya. So yung medical mission ng Salamat Doc ay nakakaabot sa kung saan-saang mga lugar. So marami po kaming naooperahan ng libre, marami pong mga nabibigyan ng gamot. 7 out of 10 Filipinos in the country die without seeing a doctor. Ganun po ka-problematic ang ating health system sa bansa. So napakalaking tulong po ng nabibigay ng Salamat Doc. Kaya ako naman, napakalaking biyaya no? Na maging bahagi po ng team na yun, ng Salamat Doc. So that's why I'd like to emphasize, guys, no? Alam ko minsan pagkabataan, di ba? Ako naman naging bata rin ako once. So parang minsan di tayo makarelate pag sinasabi ng matatanda na you pray, you talk to the Lord, you reflect. Pero napaka-importante kasi dahil ang dami mga bagay, wala talaga sa control natin. It's really up to Him. And all of these blessings that were given to me, anchoring these shows, being part of this team, covering these stories, hindi ko yan pinili. Siyang nagpili niyan para sa akin. All I can do is really to sharpen my skills, be the best that I can be, para hindi naman ako mapahiya sa kanya, di ba? So I'll be ready for the opportunities He will send my way. But as to what these opportunities are and when will He give them to me, it's really up to Him, entirely up to Him. So yung journey ko po, as a journalist, napaka makulay, diba? Full of challenges. Pero kahit napakahirap, kasi nakikita nyo lang yung 2 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour na nasa TV kami. Pero yung pinagdaanan namin para mabuo yung mga storyang yan, napakahirap. Yan po yung hindi nakikita on cam. Akala ng mga tao glamoroso, no? Yung trabaho namin. Kasi nakikita sa TV. Pero marami pong hirap na pinagdaraanan. At marami rin pong tapang na kailangan. Hindi lamang physical courage, but more important, moral courage. Marami pong nagbabayad ng mga politiko para gawan natin sila ng magandang storya. So it takes moral fortitude to say no, to remain true to your craft, to create stories and be bearers of truth. So ito po yung first part ng aking journey as a journalist. Eventually, by 2016, binigyan nga ako ng offer ni Gina Lopez to become the head of Bantay Bata. I don't know if you still know Tina Monzon Palma, pero siya po yung head ng Bantay Bata for the longest time. She still does the news ngayon sa ANC, sa The World Tonight. So, again, I realized that it's not important or it's not enough to simply tell stories that matter. Kung may magagawa po tayo mismo, bukod sa pagkikwento, pero kung meron tayong mismong magawa bilang response, bilang aksyon, bilang pagtugon dito po sa mga problemang nakikita natin, mas maganda po yun. So, in 2016, I became the program director of Bantay Bata. Ang Bantay Bata po ay we have a hotline, so doon tumatawag yung mga pamilya, yung mga batang inaabuso or may mental health issues. Ngayon po, because of the pandemic, if I may share, dumoble, nag-triple yung dami ng mga tawag na natatanggap po sa hotline. Dahil sa mga problemadong mga magulang, problemadong mga anak, diba? 24/7, magkakasama ngayon sa bahay. So, yung ibang mga bata, because of the anxieties na nakikita nila sa mga magulang nila dahil nawalan ng kita, nawalan ng trabaho. Ngayon, hindi nila alam kung makakapag-enroll o hindi. Lahat po yun, bit-bit ng bata. So, yung mga matatanda naman, yung mga magulang na sa frustration, minsan napapalo yung mga bata, nasisigawan yung mga bata. So it's such a stressful situation. And our hotline 163 reflects that. Sa dami po ng calls na natatanggap natin. But of course, we do what we can. And yung mga batang nakikita niyo po ngayon sa screen, sila po yung mga inaalagaan ng Bantay Bata sa Children's Village. Ito po yung ating residential facility sa Bulacan. So kung meron po sa inyo na gustong mag-volunteer sa Bantay Bata, please let us know. So just last month nung birthday ko, syempre virtual so Zoom na bumati yung mga bata dun sa Children's Village. And yung mga ganun pong simpleng bagay, that's what gives us those in Bantay Bata. That's what gives us inspiration. That's what gives us the courage, the hope, to do what we're doing. Si Steve Jobs, ewan ko kung alam ninyo na ampon po si Steve Jobs, kilala niya yung mga magulang niya pero pinaampon siya. Si Grace po, alam natin, foundling. Diba? Pero kung walang nag-aruga sa kanila, wala sana tayong Apple ngayon. Kung walang nag-aruga kay Grace po, wala sana tayong senador ngayon. So, I just would like to emphasize the importance of really taking care of the children. Lalo na kayong mga, yung age group nyo, kayo yung talagang naghahanap ng mga advokasya, diba? Yan yung malakas ang volunteer work sa youth. So please, try to look into children advocacies. Sana sa Bantay Bata kayo mag-volunteer, pero kung hindi man, marami rin ibang mga grupo. Ako malapit talaga yung puso ko sa mga bata kasi talagang sila, kayo, ang kinabukasan ng ating bansa. So itong batang to, si Dylan, lumapit siya sa amin. Wala pa ako sa Bantay Bata noon. I was anchoring at teleradyo program. So nanawagan yung kanyang nanay. Kailangan niyang operahan sa puso. Butas yung puso niya, baliktad yung mga ugat, ikamamatay niya pag hindi siya naoperahan bago siya nag 1-year-old. So I think mga 6 months, 6 months old si Dylan nung lumapit siya sa amin. So again, it's the hand of God, no, working and intervening. Nagkataon, nung in-interview ko si Allen, yung mommy ni Dylan, yung doktor na bisita namin ay doktor sa puso ng bata, no? So yun ang specialization niya. Pediatrician siya, pero cardiologist. So pediatric cardiology ang kanyang specialization. So hindi yun pinlano sa dinami-dami ng mga pwede mong bisita. Alam ko naman mga kapamilya kayo, di ba? So napapanood yung mga show namin, di ba? If you discuss a medical case, meron kang case study, tapos may mga doktor. Yung doktor na bisita namin, bukod sa pagiging pediatric cardiologist, member siya ng isang foundation na kumakalap ng pondo para sa operasyon ng mga batang kailangan operahan sa puso. So, to cut a long story short, nagtulong-tulungan yung mga foundation, including Bantay Bata, and naoperahan si Dylan. Hindi siya gumastos kahit na 5 centimos. Diba? Incidentally, later on, we found out meron ding isa pang kaso, same case, no? Same case. Same problem, no? Yung bata. Mayaman, sa heart center, dinoperahan din. So, paying patient to. Si Dylan charity patient. Yung batang yun namatay. Sa kasamaang palad, no? Namatay. So, kinikwento sa akin ng mommy ni Dylan si Allen. So napapaisip kami, sabi ko, ano kayang plano ni Lord kay Dylan? Diba? Biro mo yun, napakahirap na bata. But naoperahan siya, hindi siya kinailangan gumastos, nabuhay siya. Itong isang bata, may kaya, pero hindi sinuwerte, no? Of course, we cannot question the Lord's wisdom in these things. Pero, yun nga yun po yung point ko, no? Hindi natin alam what's in store, but we do what we can. We do what we can, especially now, in this time of pandemic. We should be kinder, we should be more generous, we should help in any way that we can. So ito pong journey kong ito, akala namin, di ba, na kaming mga taga ABS-CBN, magtutuloy-tuloy, di ba? But then, the ABS-CBN shutdown happened. And a lot of us were, of course, frustrated, we were hurt, we were confused. Mahirap, no? Kasi when we use the term kapamilya, akala po ng iba, slogan lang siya. Pero totoong-totoo po yun. Talagang pamilya yung turingan. Lalo na po sa aming industriya. We spend long hours at work in the office. Pag may coverage, pag may mga, kahit po sa entertainment, di ba? Kahit pag may shooting sila, we spend long hours away from our families. So sila na po ang naging pangalawang pamilya namin. ABS-CBN ang naging pangalawang pamilya namin. So hanggang ngayon, marami pa rin po, no, ang hindi makapaniwala. Pero sabi ko nga, again, babalik tayo kay Lord eh. So we just have to trust Him. That He knows what's best for us. We just have to be strong. Diba? Walang iwanan. Kaya importante po yung para nasa stock yung ating presentation. Pero, importante po, unang-una yung pamilya. Importante yung mga kaibigan. Kanina binanggit ng speaker natin, no, na huwag din natin papabayaan yung ating mga relationships. Sa pamilya at sa ating mga kaibigan. Dahil yan po ang ating sandalan. Resilience means your ability to get up again. Para kang kawayan. Kahit gaano kalakas ang ihip ng hangin, babalik at babalik ka. Babangon at babangon ka. That's grit. That's resilience. Pero mahirap bumangon kung walang suporta ang pamilya. Mahirap bumangon kung walang mga kaibigan na sumasalo sa iyo. Kaya pahalagahan natin yung ating mga pamilya, pahalagahan natin yung ating mga kaibigan. Of course, importante na yung mga kaibigan natin pareho ang pinaniniwalaan. I mean, you know, we have the same values, we have the same, we believe in the same things. Nagsa-stuck yung aking presentation, but in any case, I'll just go ahead. No? So, in leadership, family and friends are very important because they shape the type of leader that you are, and they give you support whenever you fall. Kahit ngayon, several years after graduation, yung core friends ko noon sa college, kasama ko sa student council, sila pa rin ngayon, yung mga kasama ko. Diba? Kasi nga, we believe in the same things, we believe in service, etc. But I'd like to remind all of you, lalo na kayo sa edad nyo ngayon, if there's one thing I learned with the ABS-CBN Shutdown experience, it's the importance of making sure that we are flexible, that we can adapt to change. Kasi nga, anything can happen. So hindi, bilang leader, if you want to be resilient, we have to keep on learning. We have to keep on studying. We have to keep on expanding our horizons. Kung hindi, mapag-iiwanan tayo. Hindi tayo handa kung ano man ang mangyayari. Marami ngayon nagtatanong, anong mangyayari sa ABS-CBN? Paano na kayo? Paano na yung mga kasamahan mo? Sa totoo lang po, hindi namin alam. No? Of course, may mga oportunidad naman na pwedeng kunin. Pero wala pa rin kasiguruhan yun. Diba? Because this is something new to all of us. Kahit na sila Tunying, na lumipat na sa DZRH, kahit na yung iba pa namin kasamahan na napapabalitang lilipat, ako po may mga natatanggap akong tawag, nag-o-offer sa iba. But all of these things are new to us. Kasi comfort zone po namin ng ABS-CBN for so long. So walang kasiguruhan kung ano man ang naghihintay sa akin. Lalong walang kasiguruhan yung mga kasamahan po namin na mapapabilang dun sa ilang libo no, na walang trabaho ngayon. Diba? Our unemployment rate is at an all-time high. May recession na sa Pilipinas dahil sa pandemya. Pero kung familiar po kayo sa life story no ng isang eagle, yan, dahil Ateneo, 'di ba? Sabi niyo kanina, Ateneo. Ang life story po ng eagle, hindi yan lumilipad agad ng matayog, no? Hindi siya forever strong. May panahon sa buhay niya na kailangan niyang he needs to undergo what we call a painful rebirth. Tutukain niya yung sarili niya, yung kanyang mga feathers, no? He needs to shed them off before he can finally take on a new form and fly in all of his glory. So that's grit, that's resilience. We really have to undergo all of these things, all of these hardships, all of these trials, all of these challenges. But later on, you just have to believe that, no, na we will emerge victorious. So, sinasabi ko nga, doon sa interview ni Ricky Lo, Sa ngayon talagang kailangan maghiwa-hiwalay muna magkakapamilya. Pero kahit saan po makarating, bit-bit pa rin ng bawat isa yung sinasabing values, no? The kapamilya way. Service, love, faith. Excellence. Yan naman po yung natutunan ko namin, no, sa ABS-CBN. To wrap it up, kayo po malayo pa, no, ang inyong tatahaking landas. Bata pa kayo. You have so many choices. I hope I can flash this on screen, no, pero parang delayed siya. Pero sabi nga ni Iron Man, heroes are made by the path they choose, not the powers they are graced with. So nasa inyo ang choice. Pero kaya may bayan mo ipatrol mo dyan, na sabi na gustong tanggalin ng anak ko. Sabi ng anak ko, Mami, bakit may bayan mo ipatrol mo dyan? Hindi naman patroller si Iron Man. Kasi sana yung mga choices po nating lahat will always end up in the service of our country. Tulad ng mga patroller. Hindi tayo kailangan maging reporter, hindi tayo kailangan magkita on cam, but we all do our share. Because that's the most important part of being alive, being able to make a difference, being able to serve. Hindi po yun slogan. Actually, dahil nga sa shutdown ng ABS, talagang mas napapaisip ako eh, diba? What are you here for? Is it the same thing? Diba? Are you here for the same things? And the answer is yes. Service pa rin talaga eh. And again, you don't need to be a part of media to do that. Kung meron sa inyong mag-advertising, then please use your skills to promote family values, diba? To daming mga ano ngayon, ang daming mga paraan, no, to make a difference. So, ako po, kahit na wala ng franchise ang ABS-CBN, of course, I still have a weekend show sa teleradyo. But more than that, I'm very active online. So I'd like to invite you to my social media accounts, no, Jing Castaneda. I want to create digital communities, which is reflective of the kind of world I want my 3 daughters to grow up in. It's very similar to the ABS-CBN values I believe in. I want an empowering world, or empowering but kind world based on love, faith, respect, truth, and service. Sabi nga po ni Gina Lopez, at the end of the day, love is what it's all about. It's our best and most sustainable strategy for the future of humanity and for the future of our country. So I want to be a content creator with a heart. I want to explore the digital platform and craft unique shows and inspiring concepts that have a heart and passion for making a difference. Ayoko pong lumaki yung mga anak ko sa isang mundo ng trolls. So, sana kasama ko kayo, no? I hope you can join me in this advocacy. Please join me in creating empowering stories that will continue to change lives. Dahil may online na ngayon, hindi nyo na po talaga kailangan ng airtime. If you want to make a difference, you can do it. All of us can do it. All of us can be a source of hope. All of us can be a source of inspiration. And in the end, that's what being a leader is all about. That's what sets a good leader apart from the other leaders. So, in closing, I hope it's okay, no, to read one of my most unforgettable quotes from our boss, si Gabby Lopez. I saw something he said in one of the events that we had, and ever since, so hindi ko na makalimutan kung ano yung kanyang sinabi. Ayan. Okay. Sabi niya, when all else is gone, we will still be here in the service of the Filipino. We work as hard as we do because we believe that when you feel guilty about all the hours that you spent in the office, away from your loved ones, remember this one small consolation. You're not selling bottled water or liquor. You're selling hope to millions of Filipinos. It is not just a job, it is a mission. So one day, when you look back, when you retire, as we all will, you can proudly say to your son or to your grandchildren that I am and always will be a part of this wonderful company, ABS-CBN Kapamilya. So to all of you listening to me, thank you for giving me the chance to share with you my journey. I really hope and pray you'll find your passion. Kanina may tanong, no? How do you know if it is your passion? Ito po yung sagot ko. Kapag handa kang gawin yon sa abot ng iyong makakaya, over and beyond the call of duty, kahit hindi ka bayaran. Sa akin, that's how I define passion. Because a lot of times, I've asked myself, bakit ko ba ginagawa to? Diba? Tulad nung nag-cover kami sa Real. Meron kaming binangka, no? Nagbangka kami para mapunta ng isang isla. Pagod na pagod kami, ilang oras kami sa laot. Pwede naman namin wag gawin, di ba? Pwede naman kami gumawa ng isang mas madali-daling storya. Pero bakit namin yung ginagawa? Pareho naman ang bayad sa amin, di ba? Hindi naman kami bibigyan ng mas mataas na bonus kung gawin namin yun o hindi. Yung mga bata sa Bantay Bata, hingi ka ng donasyon, di ba? Very humbling, makikiusap ka, papaliwanag mo yung programa mo, kukulitin mo. So, lagi kong tinatanong sarili ko, bakit ko ba ginagawa to? Kasi yun yung passion ko. That's what gives me meaning. That's what gives me inspiration. And by doing that, I hope I'm also able to give inspiration to others, give hope. Sabi nga, ipasa ang pag-asa. So sana po sa maiksing pakikipagkwentuhan ko sa inyo ngayon, nagawa kong ipasa ang pag-asa. And I'd like to invite you to my Facebook page, my social media accounts. Magkwentuhan po tayo doon. If you want to volunteer to any of my advocacies, just let me know. So again, thank you. Thank you everyone. Thank you to the FEU community. Pasensya na kung medyo I'm getting emotional, medyo maaga pa kasi, di ba? Kakatapos ng ating shutdown. So thank you for all the support, not just to me, but also for all your support sa atin pong mga kapamilya sa ABS-CBN. Maraming salamat po.
All right, so I think that concludes Ms. Jing Castaneda's presentation. Once again, let's give her a positive reaction. Ayan, bigyan natin ng suporta ang kanyang advokasya, ang kanyang pangarap na gustong tuparin para sa ating bansa. Ayan, muli, let's give a positive reaction to our last speaker for today, the epitome of the mantra serve or service. Ayan, okay. So we'll give the floor now to our live audience to ask question. So if you have questions about the service, yung binibigay na paano nga ba maglingkod para sa bayan. Katulad po Miss Jing, kami po sa FEU Tech Diliman at Alabang. Saludo po kami sa lahat po sa inyo na sa ABS-CBN, lahat po kayo ay hats off po talaga. Wala kami masabi at kinukonsider po namin kayo bilang isang frontliner na po ng ating bansa. Kaya taos puso po kami nagpapasalamat, and we hope this leadership training and seminar, marami po tayong na inspire or nai-apoy muli or na-ignite yung kagustuhan tumulong sa bayan ng ating mga kabataang Pilipino.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Miss Jing will be accommodating questions po. Okay lang po ba, Miss Jing?
Oo, sure.
Okay, so so for our studio audience or live studio audience, you may comment now or chat it in our chat box yung ating questions for our last speaker for today. So ayan po, the questions are coming up na po. We're still waiting lang po sa iba. Okay, so siguro Miss Jing will start with the first question. What can you give an advice to all the student leaders na experiencing challenges ngayon pong pandemic and namamatay na po yung passion to serve others? How can we be resilient katulad nyo po and build relationship sa mga kasamahan namin pa?
Well, una muna, importante kasi you have to be kind to yourself. Give yourselves time to grieve. You have to accept that it's okay not to be okay. Yun yung first step talaga doon. Kailangan matanggap natin na hindi naman talaga tayo always raring to go, no? Always top of the game. So, pero dapat sa pamilya, 'di ba? Sa mga kaibigan, huwag kayo magsabay-sabay. Dapat merong nagigrieve, merong okay, and then you try to pull each other up. Huwag magsasabay. Kasi walang mangyayari kung lahat kayo depressed, lahat kayo, 'di ba? Walang pag-asa. So, always be mindful na kung pakiramdam nyo, lahat kayo ay wala nang gana, 'di ba? Walang pag-asa, lahat kayo negative, nega, 'di ba? Have the presence of mind to be the one to be the voice of hope, to be the voice of reason in the group. I think that's a very important concept that all of us should be aware of. Diba? Acceptance that it's okay not to be okay, but also be determined to rise above, no? That slump that you are in.
Ayan. So, gaya nga po na sinabi niyo, ma'am, dun sa isang, one of the articles I read 8 days ago or 9 days ago about sa news in the company or sa ABS-CBN, we will rise from the ashes like a phoenix, sabi niyo nga po dun. And more questions are coming up po. Ms. Jing, regarding pa rin po dun siguro ito sa unang question po natin. Ayan po. Sige po, basahin ko lang po. Ayan. More on a personal question po pala, Ms. Jing, from Resha of FEU Tech. In line with the freedom of speech, moral courage, and with everything going on with the country right now, any thoughts po on school organizations or student leaders getting political? Should they be afraid to get political? Hoping for some words of wisdom from you po, sana, regarding this matter.
When I was in college, I was very active politically. Aside from joining the student council, I also wrote for the Gaidon, for Matanglawin, and then in high school, ang St. Teresa's talaga, ano yan socially aware, no, na eskwelahan. So they encourage their students to go out and rally, kasama pa minsan yung mga teachers, no. Of course, peaceful rally naman. Para lang may social consciousness yung mga bata. Ako, very supportive ako dyan. But I also would like to remind everyone, minsan kasi yung mga organizations, whether youth groups yan o kahit na yung mga political organizations ng matatanda, minsan kasi parang wala nang ginawang tama yung gobyerno. Regardless of the government, I'm not just talking about the Duterte government, the Arroyo government, or the Aquino government, regardless of the government. Minsan kasi parang wala nang ginawang tama, lahat na lang, diba, laban, ibagsak, parang. So, ako, I encourage activism, youth activism, but more than the youth activism, I encourage critical thinking. So pipiliin din natin yung mga bagay na kinukontra natin, 'di ba? Hindi naman lahat na lang evil, 'di ba? So pipiliin natin ano yung mga issue na palagay natin mali at ipaliwanag natin kung bakit ganun yung pananaw natin. Pero yes, please be active. Please be active in political organizations. Please be active in the political situation. Please be socially aware. Kasi kung hindi tayo makikialam sa mga isyung panglipunan, lalong walang mangyayari sa bansa natin.
And on that note, Miss Jing, I think kapag nagkaroon tayo ng more socially aware, we can find our passion or our advocacy. Katulad niyo po, you're advocate of children's welfare, health, education, helping our society right now, lalo na po ngayon. We can look for our passion advocacy. For example, to our student leaders who are looking for advocacy, ayan po, si Miss Jing is one of an example of advocacy in health, education, and children's welfare. Ayan po. So we can study more we can look for our advocacies through the Miss Jing's talk. Sana na-ignite yung yung passion nyo to help yung gusto nyong tulungan. Okay. So ayan po. Meron pa po tayong katanungan, ma'am, about the student leadership in campus journalism. Tanong po to ng editor-in-chief po namin sa student publication ng FEU Tech. How can we be a good student leader while being in a college publication and be an effective student leader on a campus journalism po? Ganun po yung tanong.
You should cover anything and everything. You should be you should make sure that you again give social relevance to your publication, but at the same time you should make sure that you also address the basic needs of the students. Anong ibig ko sabihin? Yung mga political issues kasi, kaya nga kinwento ko yung journey ko, no? Kasi yung mga political issues, importante sila. Importante talaga. Kaya lang, hindi mo rin pwedeng pabayaan yung mga tinatawag na isyung malapit sa sikmura. Ito yung health, education, family, relationships. Yung political issues kasi, kaya kuminsan nakaka-frustrate, no? You have the same problems, nag-iiba lang yung mga political leaders natin, but the issues remain. Kaya, bagamat importante pa rin na makilahok, di ba? Be aware of the political issues. Be relevant also to the students you seek to serve. For instance, issues on mental health. Ang daming problema ng kabataan ngayon pagdating sa mental resiliency. So ano bang pwedeng gawin? Find a way to make your publication instructional. Meaning, ngayon usong-uso, no? Sikat sa online yung mga how to, 'di ba? How to do this, how to do that, how to buy this, where to get that. Find a way to include that in your publication. Yung mga how-tos na importante sa kanila. Kung ikaw ay, halimbawa, may mental health issue, kanino ka pwede tumawag, o kaya how do you spot if your friend is undergoing a mental crisis, anxieties, etc. So yung mga ganon. So it should be a balance kasi ng mga higher issues, and these include political, business, economic issues, di ba, ng bansa, at yung parochial. So by parochial, this pertains to the students' needs, yung mga issue na malapit sa sikmura ng mga estudyante.
All right. So hopefully Ms. Jing answered your question. That question is from our editor-in-chief, Ms. Pauline Andoloy. All right. So another question po, ma'am. Meron question lang po from John Paul
Ulit,
Udon.
Facebook, mag-ano tayo, you message me privately sa Facebook, or you can get my number from Marlon. So I can help you out. I used to teach sa Ateneo. Gina-guide ko yung guide doon noon. That's the student publication ng Ateneo when I was teaching them.
Alright, so ayan po, sabi ni Miss Jing, to Miss Pauline Anduloy, you may message Miss Jing in her social media account, or you may get her contact number kay Sir Marlon. Okay, so moving on to another question po from John Paul Udon. Question lang po, ma'am, meron po ba kayong batayan kung paano magamit ang aming social media platforms to educate and be politically aware ang aming mga friends or audience? Okay, ma'am. So I think it's a very timely question po.
Thank you, John Patrick Udon, for that wonderful question. O, diba? Parang pang-ano lang tayo.
That's a Miss Universe question, ma'am.
Miss Universe question. Yung social media platforms ninyo, well, una muna, I believe in conversing with the youth, no? Kailangan naming matatanda yung inputs nyo. Kasi kaming matatanda, syempre we have our set way of doing things, of communicating things. Minsan turn off sa inyo ng mga bata. So yun yung step one na minsan naman yung mga bata, maganda nga yung way of communicating, kulang naman ng depth, no? Kulang ng substance. So yun yung step one. We should collaborate, diba? Collab is the name of the game. So we should collab on which issues, diba, ang malapit sa inyo, ang gusto ninyong pakialaman, gusto ninyong lahukan, and then paano ba yun i-communicate. So yun yung, kasi hindi lahat talaga ng mga, and that's so understandable, no? Hindi naman talaga lahat ng political issues interesting for the youth. Hindi ko rin naman sinasabing, akapin nyo lahat, diba? Ipipiliin nyo rin kung ano yung, the issues you gravitate towards. So, yun. And then, the basic strategy would be to discuss it with advocates. So, if you have, humahanap kayo ng mga environment advocates or children advocates, kung ano man yung advocacies ninyo, and then together, you craft a messaging plan. You craft or meron kayong good governance advocacy siguro. So you craft a messaging plan, and lahat tayo, may kanya-kanya na tayong spheres of influence. That's what the social media has done. Lahat tayo may kanya-kanyang circle of influence. So yung lalo na kayo na student organizations, each one of you is a multiplier. So yung messaging plan na nailatag ninyo, pwede nyong gamitin, di ba? I-amplify through the different social media accounts of your individual members and of the organization. But again, we go back to the basic, no? Content talaga. Content is king. Yun ang laging sinasabi. So how do you craft that content? It's a collaboration between those who know the facts, like yung matatanda, and people like you who know how to communicate it in terms of in terms of making it interesting to your age group.
All right. So, John Patrick Odon, hopefully Miss Jing answered your question. So, thank you so much to contestant number 1. Joke lang po. Okay.
Thank you,
still-
Joshua.
We're still waiting for other questions po. Pero Miss Jing, may message pa po kayo sa ating mga kabataan po na nakikinig po sa atin ngayon?
Well, maraming nag-message dito, stay strong, sabi nila. Nila Jasmine, maraming may mga heart. So, ibabalik ko sa inyo yun, stay strong. Lahat tayo, we have to stay strong. We are moving into, or we're actually in very, very unfamiliar territory. No? Lahat tayo. Yung pandemic is something we were all not prepared for, and we just have to keep the faith and stay strong. And siguro huling advice ko rin, no? Ako, ngayon ko lang naiisip to, pero sana nung bata-bata ako may nag-advise sa akin to find time to reflect. Kasi ang bilis ng takbo ng panahon. And ang daming nangyayari, ang daming ginagawa. Sa social media, ang dami mo pwedeng panoorin na FB Live. Sa Netflix, ang dami mo pwedeng panoorin na K-drama o telenovela. Parang wala nang time manahimik. Importante yung pananahimik eh. Importante yung meditation and reflection. Natutunan ko yan kay Gina Lopez. Ano yan eh? Guru yan. Guru ng meditation. And kaya sinishare ko sa inyo para kahit bata pa kayo, mabigyan nyo ng panahon to reflect. In reflections, the Lord speaks to us, as we reflect about things. It gives us time to quiet down and always reassess what we've done and where we're going. And that's very important in all stages of our life. That's it, Joshua.
Thank you so much, Miss Jing. That's a heartfelt message to all of the student leaders from Alabang, Diliman, and Tech. And for sure, iti-take note po namin and we'll keep it into our hearts and we'll embrace it as we serve as our fellow Tamaraos in the future po. Maraming salamat po, Miss Jing, and we're so very happy to have you po. Stay strong po. Sama-sama po tayo maging strong sa laban na to.
Thank you, Josh.
And ma'am, to show our appreciation to you, we'll be presenting to you our e-certificate of appreciation. This e-certificate of appreciation is given by FEU Alabang, FEU Diliman, and FEU Tech, Institute of Technology. The certificate of appreciation is given to Ms. Rosamy Jing Castaneda Velasco, being a resource speaker during the annual leadership training and seminar on August 21, 2020, given this 21st day of August 2020 via Google Meet. Signed by Mr. Marlon O. Maglipas, the coordinator of the Student Activities and Development Unit of FEU Tech, the coordinator of Student Activities and Development Unit of FEU Diliman, Mr. Rodel John Q. Damian, and Senior Director for Academic Services, Dr. Remelia A. Cabreros. Once again, let's give a positive reaction to Miss Jing Castaneda. And belated happy birthday, Miss Jing!
Thank you, Joshua. Salamat. Kung nagbalik kang umagang kay ganda, pwede ka mag-audition.
Sige ma'am, abangan po namin lahat yan. Thank you so much ma'am. And we hope we can see you to our future activities po.
Oo, just let me know. Let me know.
Abangan namin ma'am ang bayan mo, ipatrol mo.
Sige, let me know. Si Marlon, let me know.
I think Sir Marlon would like to say
thank you, Ma'am
before we...
Ma'am, thank you very much.
Ayan po, si Sir Marlon po. Maraming salamat po from all of us in the FEU community. We thank you for this opportunity, for giving us your time to our Tamaraw community. Once again, guys, let's give a positive reaction to Miss Jing Castaneda.
Yay! Thank you, guys.
Thank you, ma'am.
Tuloy-tuloy lang ang journey. Good luck, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
ma'am. Ingat po kayo.
Salamat po, ma'am. Birthday ko po.
Ingat po, Miss Jing.
Thank you,
Ingat po,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Happy
Happy
birthday to
birthday
sa birthday
po.
kahapon.
Thank you po, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Love you
Ayan,
po.
so we're
Thank you,
hearing
guys.
right now. Ayan, thank you po, Miss Jing. Once again.
We love you
Thank
po,
you po.
Kapamilya forever.
Ma'am.
Yes, kapamilya forever.
All right, so right now we're hearing positive reactions from our student leaders. Binibigay po nila ang positive reaction nila from the presentation, from the talk of Miss Jing Castaneda. Ayan po. Maraming
Every
salamat.
night pala, meron akong FB Live at 8:45. So I hope to see you tonight. Let's discuss this. I'll mention this tonight.
Okay, so abangan po natin. Ayan po, Miss Jing is inviting. Ma'am, you can emphasize it po para mas ma-invite pa natin yung mga nanonood po sa atin sa FB Live.
Sige, every night at 8:45 in the evening, I do FB Lives on different issues. No? So it's basically all the issues I handle or used to handle nung may channel 2 pa tayo. So please tune in sa Facebook and let me know, Josh and Marlon, kung may mga youth issues no, na gusto rin ninyong pag-usapan natin. Let me know
Yes,
so we
ma'am.
can reach more
Opo.
people. No?
Sige, ma'am. Let's
Thank
talk
you.
about
Thank
it.
you, ma'am.
Pagkaduan po natin po. And we'll see you later, 8:45 in the
Yes.
Kwentuhan with Miss Jing Castaneda.
Thank you,
Dinner with
Josh.
Miss Jing. Apo, thank you po, ma'am. Once again, let's give again the positive reaction that we have to Miss Jing Castaneda as our last speaker, the epitome of serve.
Yay!
Thank you, ma'am. Sure.
Thank you
po,
ma'am.
Salamat.
All right, so now we're going to move on to the next part of our program. Ayan, hopefully all of our Tamaraw leaders or ITAM leaders na nandito ngayon, na-inspire kayo at meron kayong mababaon in your student leadership journey. Meron ba? I-comment nyo na yung mga your learnings, lahat ng quotes na nakuha nyo from our speakers. Chat it or share it online by using the hashtag TVALTS or VALTS20 and hashtag ServeLeadExcel. So ayan, ang sabi daw ni Sir RJ, ang merong pinakamagandang comment post or status ay bibigyan niya ng GCash load. Wow, Sir RJ! Hey! Okay. So gaya nga nung ating mga speakers, once again, ayan, bigyan natin ulit ng positive reaction ng ating mga speakers from Miss Ivy Sepe, Mr. Nico Moreno, and last but not the least, Miss Jing Castaneda. Ayan, so the epitome of serve, lead, and excel. Alam niyo, personally guys, ako natutuwa ako at nalaman ko yung mga story nila, and it will also help me to become an efficient and effective student leader for the whole Tamaraw community. Gaya nga nasabi ni Miss Ivy kanina, alam niyo yung passion ni Miss Ivy, nagsimula lang yan sa kagustuhan niyang makakain ng 3 beses sa isang araw. And yun nga, katulad din ni Mr. Nico, yung kagustuhan naman niya, gumawa na hilig niya sa kagustuhan niya magkaroon ng relo and ang pagmamahal niya sa history,